You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Buckle up for Trump's biggest attempted con yet, based on an article by Tom Hartman. Trump is not explaining elections. He is preparing to break them. A primetime pretext, Trump's promised address is framed as a patriotic correction, free and fair elections, declassified intelligence, and alleged voting machine vulnerabilities, but the reporting in this source points in the opposite direction. The speech is not about securing elections. It is about manufacturing permission to dispute the outcome if Republicans lose in November. The real power is in the machinery. The decisive actors here are not confused voters or anxious commentators. They are the people controlling federal institutions, the White House Task Force, the Justice Department, the FBI, and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. According to the source, those levers are being used to stage document dumps, push prosecutions, raid election offices, and seed a narrative that treats Republican defeat as illegitimate before a single ballot is counted. That is power, not persuasion, not oversight. Power. Roy Cohn's method, updated for federal office. The article is right to trace Trump's instinct back to Roy Cohn. Attack first, deny everything, claim victory regardless of facts. That is not a personality quirk. It is a political technology. It works by exhausting institutions, pressuring the press, and forcing opponents to waste time disproving lies that were never intended to be believed cleanly in the first place. The source says Trump has found multiple Roy Cohns inside government now. That is the key fact. The con no longer sits outside the state abusing it from the margins. It sits inside the state, wearing a badge and scheduling hearings. Misdirection as strategy. The article also gets one central thing right. The point is not hacking totals. More than 98% of ballots, it notes, are cast in jurisdictions with paper records, and a federal judge blocked Trump's earlier attempt to force machine decertification. The attack is elsewhere. Ballot seizures, equipment fights, litigation designed to drag counts past deadlines, mail ballot obstruction, intimidation at polling places, a preloaded national story that tells Republican candidates they can refuse reality. That is how authoritarian politics often works in systems that still hold elections. The shell remains. The uncertainty is what gets murdered. ICE at the polls is not reform material. The mention of ICE agents at polling places should be read as what it is: state intimidation. ICE is not a broken institution that needs better training, better oversight, or a cleaner public image. It is an enforcement arm built to terrorize vulnerable people on behalf of political power. If it is being floated as part of election week chaos, the correct answer is abolition, not calibration. The pattern: hollow out the process, then call it democracy. This story is not mainly about one speech. It is about a familiar authoritarian pattern: preemptively delegitimize the vote, bury unfavorable evidence, flood the zone with procedural fights, and use state power to make confusion feel like legitimacy. The public is then asked to treat this as a dispute over fairness instead of what it is: an effort to control the conditions under which losing becomes impossible to accept. That is the larger lesson here. Trump does not need a majority to believe him. He needs enough disruption, enough delay, and enough fear to make the count unstable and the result contestable. The danger is not that he will make democracy look broken from the outside. The danger is that he will keep its formal shell intact while emptying it from within. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to AlterNet for today's article. With the automated voice of Lesak, thanks for listening.